Welcome to the Cheer Athlete. This week, we're going to talk about perception and how that can help your cheerleaders to learn that they can do whatever they need to. They have to just perceive what they are looking to achieve and put the positive perception into that. Welcome to the Cheer Athlete podcast, where we bring coaches, parents, and athletes expert tips and advice to help keep cheerleaders healthy, strong, and at the top of their game. Now, let's go. If you don't know me, I'm Laura Turner. I'm the cheer PT, and I help cheerleaders, parents, and coaches navigate injuries and reduce injuries and help keep cheerleaders on the mat so that they can keep cheering for life. This week, I finished a book called My Next Breath by Jeremy Renner. And I just sent an email out last night to people on my list. If you want to be on that list and you want to get that email, just send me a message on Instagram or, Laura at MoveBetterLLC.com, and I'll send you along and get you signed up. But the email that I talked about, in the email, I talked about Jeremy Renner's horrific accident that happened in January 1st of 2023. And trigger warning. So if you have little kids listening, give a pause for a second or move past the accident portion of this so that they don't have to hear. So in 2023, Jeremy Renner was out. He was with his family up in Reno, and there was a massive snowstorm, and they were stuck inside for a couple of days. And he went out after the snow stopped with his nephew and was working the snowcat and got run over by a snowcat because I'll let you read the book or listen to the book and hear the details about it. But horrific accident, and it was all over the news. And he broke like 38 bones in his body, lots of trauma to his body, and it is a miracle that he is here today to write this book, read this book, and to talk and give back and teach the lessons that he learned. And the big takeaways that I had from this and from his lessons really speak to not to life in general, but I think they're really important for cheerleaders to learn at a young age that the main thing that matters is love. The biggest thing that we have out there, that the only thing that matters that we'll take with us is love. He, in his book, Jeremy says that he died on the ice, and although he came back on his own and just had to remind himself to take his next breath. In that brief moment when he died on the ice, all he felt was pure love for his family, for his friends, and he could see the beauty in the world. And all the rest of it just faded away. And that was what he took back with him. He had to focus on his next breath. And that was one of my big, he talked all the time through the book about taking that breath and how important it was, how reflexive breathing happens from our brain and chemicals get sent and it kind of reminds us. But he was in so much pain that like to take a breath in was torture because he broke all his ribs and it punctured a lung. So, you have to focus on that next breath. And where I think that carries into cheer, like so many times we are struggling with, am I progressing? Am I, just pushing through this routine to get to the next level? I am, struggling to learn a new skill. It hurts. I'm tired. And really all you got to focus on is that next breath. Like take the exhale. It helps you, it builds core stability. It helps you to kind of just move on to the next step. We don't have 60 breaths from now. We only have the very next one that's in front of us. Hopefully that's more than 60. But all we have is right now, and we can take that next breath. And even if it has to be shallow, if you get winded and you get knocked, you're knocked down and you're like stunned for a second, take that next easy breath, work on the exhale, and then take the next one after that. It's like I say at the end of every episode, take life one step at a time, take one breath at a time. That's how we manage to move on. So when you're struggling in school and you're like, I can't get it all done, and how am I going to do it? When I was cheering in college, I was in PT school. My mom was instrumental in helping me pass because I would call her crying, Mom, there's no way I can do this. There's no way I can get through this. I'm not going to pass. I'm going to fail. I was so scared, I was like devastated because I didn't see anything else in my life besides physical therapy and cheer, and I didn't want to give up either one of them. And specifically with PT, like she would just encourage me, like, Laura, one step at a time. Do what you can do today, study for what you have today, and take that next step to get to the next level. And so, as he says, focus on that next breath and just take that one step at a time, whether it be to do better in school or to improve on your next skill. If you're looking to get your full by the end of this year, well, where are you at today? And what's the first step and the next breath that you have to take to get you in that direction? When we can focus on that, it will move us on and keep us moving forward. And then the third major thing that stood out was his how he talked about his pain. And pain is so uncomfortable and so like every step he took when he started to walk again was just bone shearing pain. And he had to stop and remind himself. And I think he had some amazing healers with him, physical therapists and doctors, and probably some other support people that just kept him moving and keeping in the right mindset. But like recognizing that pain, the perception of pain could be something that left him in bed and left him not moving and taking that next step forward, or it could be something that actually he took control of. So very often when something hurts, we, brush it off. We don't tell our coaches. We don't put the effort in to make that feel better. And sometimes that pain, and that sometimes can be a good thing because you're not just dwelling on the pain and like laying there not doing anything. But sometimes when we actually take our step in saying, listen, I'm not letting pain rule me. I don't have to live with this. I am going to take control of you. You are under my control. I am not under your control. And let's change our perception around it and move forward. Let's not let it get the best of us. That doesn't mean you should push through a painful injury or a painful strain or stretch. You need to pay attention to where you're at, but it also, just because that pain, you have that pain doesn't mean that you're out for the rest of the season. It doesn't mean that you're out forever. It doesn't mean that you're never going to participate again. Your perception can say, like, okay, this pain's telling me something, something's going on. What do I need to do to fix it? And how can I keep moving forward to help keep getting better? So when we change our perception of how we look at things change. And so Jeremy Renner really hit that home, and I think that was a key takeaway. I highly encourage you to read the book, or I would like to read it too. And it's always my goal to read a book and listen to it at the same time. It never happens. Most of my reading and listening comes when I'm in the car these days, either traveling to New York or to work. But I do if you can find it on Spotify or Audible or wherever you might find your books, Kindle, get it and listen to it, because hearing it in his words and his story really teaches the power of perseverance, the power of recognizing that love will get you to the next step, that your family is always there to support you, and to really take a step and look at like what is important in life. And I think we can teach our athletes this and remember it for ourselves. It will help us to feel better, be better, and do better in the world as well. If you are looking for, so check that out on Spotify. I will link it below, and definitely give it a listen. It's well worth it. If you are looking for ways to improve how you're moving, if you're not sure if your pain is something that you need to get checked out, and if you're looking to connect, you can find all my links below. Send me an email, laura@movebetterllc.com, or reach out to me on Instagram and let's have a conversation. I also have a new guide out, 3 tips to prevent injury in cheer, which speaks to doing your mobility, your warm-ups, and listening to your body and letting yourself get rest at the same time. Along with that, I have a new program, a warm-up guide or uh, warm-ups and cool downs. It's a program that you can take and you have ready for you, done for you exercises. So if you're interested in all of that, that's all in the show notes as well. Take one step at a time. Don't forget to breathe out. You can do anything you put your mind to. And as my friend Drew Kelleher said, you're responsible for your own vibes. Same as like Jeremy Renner said, right? Let's get the day. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.